Here at Helmuth Ford, we are a small town dealership with no hassle and no pressure.
Hi, this is Stacy from Shuttler Insurance Services. Come see me on the east side of the square in Sigourney for all your insurance needs.
The Keswick Tavern is the place to be this Saturday night, April 12th, as singer-songwriter Kenny Falls will have an acoustic show from 8 to 11 p.m. And there's no cover charge. The Keswick Tavern is located at 117 South Irons in Keswick, Iowa. Meet your friends this Saturday night at the Keswick Tavern from 8 to 11 for singer-songwriter Kenny Falls. We hope to see you there. Bras for a Cause 2025 is Saturday, April 12th at the Carl Craft Civic Center in Hedrick. Dinner is provided by Bubba-Q's at 4:30. There's a free will donation, plus a silent auction from 4:30 to 9 p.m. And of course, the live bra auction starts at 6 p.m., modeling by the Hedrick Volunteer Firemen. All proceeds to benefit our local communities. For more information about Bras for a Cause 2025, contact Lori Hornback at 641-777-4252. Get ready because Tyler Richardson and the High Bank Boys are coming to Sigourney on Saturday, April 26th at Enchanted Events, 20595 255th Street, just south of Sigourney. Order your tickets online by going to enchantedeventsvenue.com or find the Enchanted Events Facebook page for the ticket links. There are 3 different ticket options: general admission, VIP, or reserve. Doors open at 7 and the cash bar and band starts at 8. It's Tyler Richardson and the High Bank Boys, Saturday, April 26th at Enchanted Events, just south of Sigourney.
Welcome to this edition of Morgan the Asked For podcast. Wednesday night, a little after 9, or Tuesday night, a little after 9, sorry. Off a day here. Don't want to wish our days away. Day after national championship time game where Houston falls to Florida in a close battle where they don't even get a shot off at the end of the game to give them a chance. But I do believe we need to start with, obviously most important in my sports fandom, but I think overall in the state of Iowa, this weekend and the last couple of days have been swirling that Joshua Jefferson, who has said he's coming back to Iowa State, the rumor mill started that he has been offered upwards of $3 million a year to go to an SEC program. And I'm just going to say it, LSU is the one that most people heard, but I have heard there was another one that was coming in late and offering him that. But he comes out today on the Iowa State men's basketball page and does affirm his commitment, saying I'm back. So it seems, again, none of this stuff is 100% rock solid. Until he suits up next year, you never really know. But it sure seems like he's coming back. So thank you, We Will collector or supporters. Thank you, We Will, for ponying up. Because here's the big picture, and I want to welcome Trevor in here just a second. But I want to pose this question to Trevor. Now, I do not think he's getting $3 million from Iowa State. I would say their team is probably just about $3 million, maybe a little bit more as an entire team. But I would say he's probably $1 million, maybe a little more now. And I would guess he's under. And I think, and we've talked about this, and we're coming into the season where college sports is now over for us. Yes, I know track's going on and softball and baseball, but unless it's a one-hit something, we're not going to talk about it. So we got golf. We're going to talk Masters a little bit today, a little bit of NFL draft, but then we get into the time where we just talk about subjects and things we want to talk about. And I think the portal and the money could last 1 or 2 episodes for sure. And we could get a couple people on here to help us with that maybe. But I do think he got offered, and you cannot blame a kid. Joshua Jefferson is a very good player, second team all conference, I believe, this year. So obviously next year, looking at being a first team all league player in the Big 12. So that's very good. But projecting out, you never know. I would not have thought George Niang would have a 10-year NBA career, but he's still there. Joshua Jefferson is not a surefire NBA guy. And I don't care who you are, Trevor, me, anybody listening to this, someone doubles or triples your salary to do the same job, just so you have to move, We all think about it, and someone offers you almost $3 million at 22 years old, or whatever he is. That's a heck of a start in life, and that would be really, really hard to turn down. Even if you want to stay at Ames, you love it at Ames. It's like I don't have to worry about a lot of things. That's not, he can't live on that $3 million for the rest of his life. But there's a lot of things in life that he doesn't have to worry about ever if he does it the right way, that most 22-year-olds and just people in life have to worry about. He's going to be able to buy his first house cash. If he puts all in retirement, money, max out all his retirement stuff, there's just safety nets there that 99.9% of people don't ever have. Now, flip side, he is getting probably $1 million now from Iowa State. So he's not walking around poor. But $1 million to $3 million, that's a different tax bracket, I would assume. And that's just different money. What do you think on that, Trev?
Well, I didn't know we were going to start with Iowa State, but
yeah,
seeing as this is your podcast, I that makes a little bit of sense. I figured we were going to start with the national title game.
Well, I'm sorry, but
no, it's all good. Like you said, if he's making roughly $1 million at Iowa State, they can make 2, 3, 4 times that to go to an SEC school or just anywhere else, any of the big powers out there. It's a little surprising that he turned it down. If I was in his shoes, I don't know if I could do that. If you're talking going from 1 to 1.1, maybe you don't, but. Yeah. Like we said, if we're just using $1 million as the number, if he could have got 2, 3, or maybe even more somewhere else, I don't know how you'd turn that down. Like we talked about last episode, it's pretty good to be a college athlete right now, men's and women's, even if you're not a star, even if in basketball, if you're, the 7th or 8th player that on the bench, I mean, you're still making a decent amount of money, I would assume, or you might be able to make some money if you get to that starting role. So yeah, college is, it's not a bad life right now.
No, it's really good.
All the things that they get, even outside just getting money, most of these colleges, the facilities have all been updated the last 5, 10, 20 years, whatever it is. The food is really good. The training, probably really good medical attention because they have to get physicals, all that kind of checkups, all that kind of stuff. So even if you're not making 6, 7 figures, you're still living a really good life right now.
Yeah, Bryce Sanford and Brock Harding, both, starting / bench, top 7 players for Iowa. Here, both their numbers are over $1 million at Nebraska and TCU, and they aren't all league players. They're just good basketball players. And I would say Owen Freeman and Josh Dix, the 2 best players from Iowa that or still have college eligibility. Bryce Sanford is going to the NBA, but those guys are getting $1.5 to $2 million would be my guess at Creighton each. So it's crazy. Now here's the downside to this. Okay, so I would assume that Jefferson and Jefferson's people went to Iowa State and said, hey, we got this offer. What can you do to get him some more money? And that's how negotiations work. You can't blame him. You can't blame his people, whatever. He got off. Now, there's another argument to this, that there's tampering. He's not in the transfer portal, so he shouldn't have this. He shouldn't have this. But let's live in the real world. It happens every day. People call, people make whatever. So obviously he goes to Iowa State, and Iowa State did what they could. Like just for easy math, let's say he was going to get $750,000. Now he's getting $1 million. Just to make easy math and just make it easy. And I could be way off. I might be right on. I have no idea. If I'm Taman Lipsey and I'm Milan Monsilovic, agreed to their deals to come back, whatever that financial agreement is, because they're all getting paid. Nate Heisey's same way. Are like, well, he just got a 25% raise. Am I going to get a 25% raise? So all of a sudden, okay, so you just ponied up another $250,000. Well, now you got to pony up another $50,000 for Nate Heisey, another $100,000 for Taman Lipsey, and another $200,000 for Milan. So all of a sudden, you just went from $250,000 raise to almost $1 million raise. I mean, that's the craziness about this. That the one player making a change, I assume they all get raises.
You would think that they, like you said, they'd be asking for it because the SEC schools, like you said, that were going after him, if they see that he gets more money, or that's the rumor out there, well, they know that Iowa State's invested that money into that one player, so they've got less to keep the other ones around. So now maybe they didn't get that player that they were going after originally. Let's go after option 2, option 3. And it's not just LSU looking at that, the team that you mentioned. It's all the good teams across the country going, okay, Iowa State just dished out a bunch of money to one player. They probably have less money in their pool, whatever we're calling it now. You know, in the NFL's there's a salary cap. You can see what each team's spending, so every team knows. This, I don't think other colleges really know for sure, at least not yet. That's where we need some guardrails put in place. But it's just, obviously, it's just common sense. If they're up in the money for one player, other teams across the country know there's probably less money for the remaining roster, so now they can go after them.
And I believe Iowa State right now has 2 open scholarships. And there's some theories and some talk that they might not fill them. They can't afford them. They just paid these guys all more money. Well, that was your 2 more guys on the bench that you could have paid. That's the reality of it too. Now, I do think you want to keep I would always keep one scholarship open until the season starts. And then you give like a walk on the just yearly scholarship, because you never know when they transfer. You know, like last year, Tony Bennett quit a week before the season started or whatever it was. And I would assume those players could have transferred right away. And if you have a spot, at least you have an option to go get those guys. You may not want them, but at least you have an option. If you're all full of scholarships, you don't have an option. So I don't know how all that works, but I do think that is in play, not filling every scholarship spot because of budgetary concerns. There is only a finite amount of money each school has, and each school is different, but each school still does have a finite amount of money.